right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, How to Trade Like the Pros. My name is Jerry D'Ambrosio. Welcome, everybody. I do want to welcome all you folks joining us via YouTube as well, and anybody who just registered. I was a guest host for Glenn Tompkins' Trending Thursdays, where I taught a little bit about the technique that I'm going to show you guys here today. So if you guys registered for today's webinar at Trending Thursdays, I want to welcome you guys here. You guys are late registrants, but fantastic. Glad you guys can make it. Roger says, VV Nation, awesome. So it looks like you guys can hear me okay. You can see my screen. If you guys don't mind, use that chat box just to let me know that you are here, you are listening. Willie says, okay. Looks like everybody can hear me just fine. Okay, yeah, this session, guys, will be recorded, is being recorded, and you will get the recording later on this evening. Okay, you'll get it via email. You don't have to do anything from here. You've registered for the webinar, so you will get the recording a little bit later. Okay, all right. Before we get started, a couple of things I'd like you guys to do for me first. Number one, excuse me, battling this cough, guys. I'm sorry. So from time to time, I'm gonna move my mic away from my mouth and cough. Nothing I can do about it, just one of those things. But first, grab a pen and a piece of paper, something to drink, of course, if you'd like. I will ask you folks to write a few things down. It's also great if you guys want to take notes. You can do that. So just grab a pen and a piece of paper. Number two, get rid of any distractions. My wife has our two boys in the playroom, so I'm not distracted because we're all here ready to learn, and I really want to commend you guys for taking time out of your day here to join me. I'm going to show you a really effective short-term trading strategy that you guys are going to love. So a couple of things that you're going to learn here. Number one, 5 common principles professional traders follow. Number two, an extremely easy, very easy and effective short-term trading strategy, and I really emphasize short-term here. And then finally, how to quickly and easily identify the best trades. What I'd like you guys for me to do, for you guys to do for me, is just stick with me to the end. If you stay with me to the end, we're gonna be together for about an hour. I will share with you a copy of today's slides. Just somebody remind me at about, I don't know, 5:20 or so Eastern time, about 40 minutes, 50 minutes from now, say, hey, Jerry, don't forget the slides. We have a lot to cover here today. I sometimes forget. Just have somebody remind me at the very end, and I will go ahead and put those slides in the handout section of your GoToMeeting control panel. So again, guys, my name is Jerry D'Ambrosio. I'm the manager of educational content here with VectorVest. This is our education team. I'm just one part of it. We have a fantastic education department here with VectorVest. Our number one goal every day is to help you guys make money in the stock market. And when I first started with VectorVest, our education department was really solely focused on teaching our clients the VectorVest program, the ins and outs of the program. Where to click, what does this feature do, what does this do? We've really developed into a very well-rounded education team where we'll teach you different trading techniques, different investment strategies. We have a nice little options department within the education department where we have a couple of really good option traders that are dedicated to teaching folks how to trade options. So that's my role. One of my roles here is to teach swing trading techniques, technical analysis, and that's what I'm going to teach you here today. By the way, I do have Ray Clark. Ray is the gentleman third over from the left there, 2 over from me. He's in the background. He will be answering any questions you guys have along the way. I'll try to answer some as I go. I got a ton of content to cover here, so I try to answer some along the way, but I will save some time at the very end to answer some of the more common questions. Okay? So let's start off by talking about what makes a pro a pro. So what makes a professional trader a professional trader? What are the qualities that separates these men and women from the average retail investor? You and me, right? And this segment here is all about getting you in the right mindset, because this is not your buy and hold retirement approach. I want to be very upfront when I say that this is for the money. that you have set aside to trade maybe a little bit more actively. Okay? Um, we hope that you're doing that you're allocating portions of your portfolio towards different investment strategies, options, maybe dividend paying stocks, and then maybe your retirement portfolio where you hold your core holdings, right? Where fundamental valuation is a key part of your stock selection. Then you have money set aside where you're looking to trade a little bit more actively, swing trading, holding positions for a shorter period of time, using technical analysis as the basis of your stock selection. So we hope you're doing that. Okay. So this is about this is going to be a technique where you would use in that portion of your portfolio where you're trading a little bit more actively. So first, a professional trader is realistic. They know that there's no magic pill that they can take that will make them better traders overnight. Success in this industry, in any industry, comes with time and effort. If you ask anyone who's ever gotten to the top of their respective fields, right, like a CEO or I don't know, a construction manager or a professional athlete, anybody who's gotten to the top will tell you, unless they got really lucky and knew a lot of people, they'll tell you that it took hard work, right? It didn't happen overnight. They put the effort in, they put the time in, and that goes, the same goes for trading and investing. It's not going to happen overnight. We'd all love to be millionaires next week. It's not going to happen. Unlikely to happen. So what do we have to do? We have to put the time and effort in, and that's really what separates pros from most everybody else, is they understand that. Next is that they control their emotions. They don't allow losing trades to affect them. This is the hard part, and this is easier said than done. I get it. But pros don't think of the money first. They focus on doing the right things, making the right trades, and they know if they do that, the money will come. And one of the reasons they feel this way is because they place trades based on facts and data rather than gut feelings. We've all been there. I've been there earlier on in my career, with VectorVest when I first started to invest and trade. I would place a trade or two because I just knew it was going to go up, right? I had that feeling. Pros don't have feelings. Well, they don't think that way. They have feelings, but they don't think that way. They look solely at the information in front of them to make decisions. Okay? They're prepared. They know exactly when they're going to get out of a trade even before getting in. It's because they've examined and tested different techniques to figure out which one is best. And then lastly, and most importantly, I think, professional traders are disciplined. They stay sharp and focused when things are going well, right? Not overly enthusiastic and giddy and complacent when things are going well. They're focused. They're sharp. Why are they so sharp and focused? Because they're not worrying about or thinking about the gains that they're making. They're thinking about the plan that they're sticking to. Okay? This is really one of the things that separates them from everybody else. They have a plan. They stick to it. They're resilient when things aren't going so well, as opposed to putting our heads down. Our confidence is destroyed. We let emotions take over and allows our emotions to affect decision making. They don't behave that way. They don't let those things get in their way. They have a plan and they stick to it. Now, what happens if you continue to struggle with some of these things? If you're someone that does struggle with some of these things, right? Letting emotion control your decision making, not having a plan. If you do have a plan, you don't stick to that plan. Some of these things that the pros really practice, if you're someone that has trouble with some of these things, what's going to happen? You're going to go broke. If you continue to struggle with these things, you're going to go broke. Now, I don't mean that you're going to be unemployed, living on the streets, but you're not going to be playing this game much longer. Why? Because losses are just going to keep building up and building up and building up, right? Clusters and clusters of losing trades. You're going to wind up broke with no more money to invest. If done the right way, you'll know exactly what you're doing no matter the situation. So you think about the confidence that you'll have. And once you start to develop better habits, you will start to see more consistent gains. There is a big mistake, though, that traders make when first starting to implement short-term trading systems. They follow unproven, complicated strategies. For some reason, I never understood this. New traders who are just starting to trade this way, swing trading, shorter term techniques, applying those to their portfolios, that they feel like they need to use, 5 different technical analysis indicators and 3 different types of moving averages to help identify entries and exits. For some reason, new traders who are just starting out trading this way, they find value in complexity. Most times that's only going to lead to confusion and ultimately frustration. Not only will more indicators or too many indicators on a chart be redundant at times, but they could be conflicting. One indicator might give you a bullish signal, one indicator might give you a bearish signal. So if you apply too many indicators to a chart, you're not getting clear signals. What I want to show you today is what's called the RSI-2 trading system. You may have seen this technique before. It was developed by Larry Connors. Larry Connors is an author. He's a professional trader. He has over 30 years in the market, in the financial markets industry. This strategy focuses on stocks in long-term uptrends, but are experiencing short-term corrections. I know that's rather vague and ambiguous, but he defines this. He defines both of those situations. And what I love about this system is that it's so simple. It doesn't use 7 different indicators. It uses 3 and 3 only. A 200-day simple moving average to identify the long-term trend, and a 5-day simple moving average and a 2-period relative strength index for the short-term trend. We are going to be applying this to daily price charts so that, I gotta make sure you guys can see my mouse, so that 2-period RSI is a 2-day RSI, 2-day look back period. All right. So let's take a look. Here we're looking at Procter & Gamble from November of 2018 to November of 2019. Don't worry about the time frame and don't worry about why I went back so far. I'll explain why I went back so far in a little bit. Okay? Overall, during this time period, price moves from bottom left to upper right, stays above the 200-day moving average the entire time. So this is how Larry Connors defined a long-term uptrend by making sure that price is above the 200-day moving average. Okay? But there are always times, we know this, that the price of the stock pulls back. It falls below its 5-day simple moving average, stays above the 200-day moving average, but falls below the 5-day moving average. Long-term uptrend, short-term correction. Now there is another piece to this system, right? It's called the RSI-2. I told you there are 3 indicators used: the 200-day moving average, the 5-day simple moving average, and the relative strength index. Now, relative strength index, excuse me, is scaled between 0 and 100, with the industry standard look back period of 14, with the extreme lower level at 30 and the extreme upper level at 70. You can plot RSI on any chart over time, seeing the RSI movement. Okay? Now, using the industry standard settings of a 14-period look back, again, we're looking at daily price charts, so it's a 14-day look back. What I had to do, actually, the chart that we were looking at a few minutes ago was from follow my mouse, follow my cursor, from November of 18 to November of 19. Notice, from November of 18 moving forward, the 14-period RSI, the industry standard RSI, never went below 30. It never gave a buy signal. Okay? I had to go back a little further to show you the only time that the 14-period RSI, again industry standard, went below 30, giving you a pretty good buying opportunity, don't get me wrong. Excuse me. What Larry Connors did was he sped up the RSI indicator, meaning he changed the look back period to 2. Okay? changed the look back period to 2, and lowered the extreme level from 30 to 10. You might be asking, why 2? Why a 2-day RSI? You might also be asking, why 10? And the best answer I can give you is because that worked the best in his research. I'm sure he tried a 4 and a 6 or an 8 period RSI and played around with the lower levels and tested his technique. Remember, that's what one of the things that pros do very well, right? They test and they examine different techniques to figure out which one is best. This, I am sure, I don't think that Larry Connors would have published this, right, and made it public if it didn't work well or it didn't work the best out of everything he tried. So to answer that question, I know that question is coming. Why did he use a 2 RSI and a 10 value? Because it worked the best. So here's your system, guys. Here's your trading system. Along with the price of the stock above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average, and not or, and the 2-period RSI below 10, there's your trade. There's your setup. Okay? Long-term uptrend, short-term correction. I told you he defined it very clearly, right? Earlier I said that, giving you an overview of what types of stocks this strategy focuses on. I said it focuses on stocks in long-term uptrends, but are experiencing short-term corrections. Here it is. Here it is laid out. This is what he means by long-term uptrend, short-term correction. So let's take a look at what this trading plan looks like written down. Okay? Here are the entry rules. We're going to buy only when the stock is above the 200-day simple moving average and below the 5-day simple moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10. And we are going to enter near the close of the day, near the close of the session. When I trade this system, I buy as close to the close as possible, and I just put a market order in. I don't mess around with limit orders. There's a chance I might not get filled. I want to get in as close to the close as possible, and that's how you should treat it. Get in as close to the close as you can. Okay. If all 3 of those are true. Here is the exit criteria. Okay. Here is an exit criteria. The exit criteria, excuse me. You exit when price goes above the 5-day simple moving average. You exit when price goes above the 5-day simple moving average, and you exit near the close of the day, as close to the close as you can. So we are entering the trade as close to the close as possible when price is below the 5-day moving average, and we are exiting when it goes above the 5-day simple moving average, and we are going to exit near the close of the day. All right, let's take a look at some examples now. I'm covering all of you guys, you left brainers, you right brainers. We wrote it down. We're going to look at some visual charts here to cover everybody. So what I did, same stock, Procter & Gamble, I zoomed in here just to a little bit closer, July 23rd of 2019. Again, I'll explain why I went back that far in a little bit. Okay. Now, a few charts ago, we saw that the price of Procter & Gamble was above the 200-day moving average for the entire time, right? We remember that. When I zoom in here to a very close area, we're only looking at about 3 weeks or so, notice that we lose that purple line. We lose the 200-day moving average, meaning we can't see it anymore, but we know that price is above it. Let's go into each of these setups knowing that price is above the 200-day moving average. One of the 3 rules is always going to be met. So on July 23rd, 2019, we have a setup. We have an RSI2 setup. Price is above the 200-day moving average, but closed below the 5-day simple moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10 on that day. How do I know it closed below the 5-day? Because this is a filled candle, a solid candle. I know that the close of the day was at the bottom of the body. These unfilled candles here, I know the close of the day was at the top of the body. So on July 23rd, 2019, for the purposes of this example and the other examples that I'm going to show you, we are going to use the closing price as our entry price. I don't know what the stock's price was at 3:55 or 3:57 p.m. Eastern Time on July 23rd of 2019. I don't have that data. So for the purposes here, I'm gonna buy as close to the close as possible, and for the purposes here, I'm gonna use the close as my entry price. So we buy at roughly 113.85, right? And we sell 3 days later at $114.73. Why are we selling on that day? Because price closed above the 5-day simple moving average. Okay? It opened below it. It opened below the 5-day moving average and crossed above the 5-day moving average during the day. But we are not going to exit just because and just as price goes above the 5-day moving average. We are going to wait for the close of the session. And we are going to exit near the close of the session. That's a winning trade. So I want you guys to take out that pen and a piece of paper, create 2 columns, a win column and a loss column, and we are going to start to tally wins and losses. So let's put a tally mark in the win column. Okay? So the very next day, we have another RSI2 setup, don't we? Price of the stock is still above the 200-day moving average, but it closes below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI is still below 10. Okay? I'm not saying to buy more of the stock if you happen to buy it the day before. What I'm showing you here is every single opportunity using the RSI2 technique. If you didn't buy it the day before, let's say you didn't have any buying power left, or you were on vacation, or you weren't watching the market, whatever the case may be, and then on July 24th of 2019, you had that opportunity. You had buying power left, or you were watching the market that day. Okay? So the next setup offered us a price of $113.15. We get in as close to the close as possible. Again, in this case, we still sell 2 days later, $114.73. We buy at $113.15. We sell at $114.73. That is another winning trade. I want you to focus on winning trades first. Winning percentage first. I'll put some dollar amounts and some gains in there in here in a little bit. What I first want you to focus on is winning trades. So the very next RSI2 setup, let's see, that was July 24th of 2019. The very next one was August 5th of 2019. I'm literally moving from left to right on the chart. I'm not going to cherry pick around and cherry pick dates. I'm just going to move from left to right. So on August 5th of 2019, we have another RSI2 setup, don't we? Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but it closes below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. Why didn't we enter the trade the day before? Why wasn't the day before a setup? Wasn't price below the 5-day moving average? Yes, but the 2-period RSI was not below 10 on that day, so it's not a setup. Thank you, Felix. Yep. Okay. So we enter at roughly 113.08. We sell 2 days later at $115.52. Again, give or take a few cents, because we are going to exit when we see that price is about to close above the 5-day moving average, and we see that it did close above the 5-day moving average 2 days later. That's another winning trade. We had to wait a month for the next setup. September 10th of 2019 was the very next RSI2 setup. We're not going to be trading, it's unlikely that you're going to be trading the same stock multiple times in a week. Sometimes you may have to wait a month or so before you get another good opportunity. So on September 10th of 2019, price of the stock is still above the 200-day moving average, but it's experiencing a short-term correction. It has fallen below the 5-period moving average and closes below it, and the 2-period RSI below 10. So we buy at roughly 119.88. We sell 2 days later at $122.77. That's a nice gain there in just a couple of days. Okay? That's another winning trade. The next setup was almost a month later. On October 2nd of 2019, we got another setup. Price of the stock is still above the 200-day moving average, but correcting here in the short term, falling below the 5-day moving average, closing below it, and the 2-period RSI below 10. We buy near the close of that session at about $121.08. Okay? We sell 2 days later at $124. A nice quick gain there in a very short period of time, only 2 days. By the way, if you notice, guys, this is not a day trading system. We will never day trade. Now, the earliest that you could exit a position could be the next day, but the average holding period is between 2 to 5 days. That is the average holding period. Okay, that's another win. Put another tally mark in the win column. October 14th, now let's see, what was that? October 2nd, a couple of weeks later, we had another RSI 2 setup. Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but fallen below the 5-day moving average, closes below it, and the 2-period RSI below 10. So we buy near the close of that day at 120.05. We didn't buy it the day before. We didn't buy it the day before that. We didn't buy it the day before that. We didn't buy it the day before that. Why? Even though price was below the 5-period moving average, the 2-period RSI was above 10. Okay, very precise timing system on an individual stock basis. Okay, very precise. So look here, if we buy at 120.05, when do we sell it? Well, we sell it here at $119.08. Well, you're looking at that and saying, well, that's a losing trade, right? Buy it at 120.05, sell it at 119.08. That's a losing trade, and you are correct. That is a losing trade. A couple of guys were asking about what about stop losses. Larry Connors developed this system not using stop losses. He felt that stop losses over time hurt performance. Instead, he applies an exit criteria. Remember that from earlier. It's an exit criteria. It's not a stop loss. It's not a profit target. It is an exit criteria, meaning you will exit no matter what when price is about to close above the 5-day simple moving average. I don't care what that results in, a winning trade or a losing trade. It doesn't matter. That's when you exit the position. Up until this point, so far, we've seen only winning trades, right? And I've gone sequentially here. I haven't bounced around. Okay? That is a losing trade, so I want you to put a tally mark in the loss column. Now, the very next day, we have another RSI 2 setup. And again, I'm not saying you should buy more of it the next day. If you didn't buy it the day before, okay, you had the opportunity on October 15th of 2019. Price of the stock is still above the 200-day moving average, but it's correcting in the short term. It's fallen below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI is still below 10. So in this, with this setup, if we bought it at 117.20, we still sold it a couple of days later, 4 days later, at 119.08. Now that's a winning trade. Put a tally mark in the win column. Okay? Put a tally mark in the win column. 2 days later, we have another RSI 2 setup. The point of me showing you all of the setups, every single RSI 2 setups, is to display the efficacy of the system, meaning what is your likelihood of a winning trade? What is your probability of a winning trade no matter which RSI 2 setup you take? Whether the first one, the second one, the third one, the last one, no matter which one, I'm showing you them all because I want you to see what the winning percentage overall looks like and what your probability, again, or likelihood of a winning trade might be. So, October 17th, we got another setup. Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but it's still below the 5-period moving average, and the 2-period RSI went below 10. Now, it didn't go below 10 the day before, even though price was still below the 5-day moving average, so that wasn't a setup on October 16th. That wasn't a setup. We had a setup on October 17th. We buy at 116.63. We sell 2 days later at 119.08. That's another winning trade. So who kept track? Who followed along with me? How many winners is that and how many losers is that? We went from July of 2019 to October of 2019. I'll give you a hint. I showed you 8 setups. How many winners and how many losers? This should be easy. I kind of gave it away. Well, we know we had 1 loser. Therefore, if I showed you 8 setups, there you go, Shanti. 7 winners, 1 loser. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good winning percentage. That's only 8 trades. So now here comes what I said earlier about why I went all the way back to 2018, because I wanted to give you guys a larger sample size than just 8 trades. The 8 trades that I just showed you there were to teach you the technique. Does everybody understand the technique? We enter near the close of the session if the price of the stock is above the 200-day moving average but below the 5-day moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10. We exit the trade no matter what when we see price about to close above the 5-day moving average. That is a setup and exit there. From November of 2018 all the way to current, there were a total of, for Procter & Gamble, 38 RSI 2 setups. Now I showed you 8 of them. There were 30 more of them during this November of 18. What are we in? We're in July, September, October, November. 2 years and 9 months. 2 years and 9 months. There were a total of 38 RSI 2 setups. 32 winning trades and 6 losing trades. That is an 84% winning trade percentage on that one stock, Procter & Gamble. Now I know what you guys are thinking. All right, that's just one stock. You cherry pick that stock, right? I know, okay? Yes, I did. I did cherry pick that stock. First, I want to teach you the techniques, but what I also wanted to do is make sure you guys understand the characteristic, the number one characteristic of an RSI 2 candidate. The number one characteristic is that we have to make sure that the price of the stock is above the 200-day moving average. That's a must. So remember earlier I said that this strategy focuses on stocks in long-term uptrends. So those are the type of stocks that we are going to favor here, right, when we trade this system. So what I decided to do, because I knew that one stock, a one cherry-picked stock, wasn't enough data for you. So what I decided to do is just a couple of days ago, as of July 6th of 2021, just a few days ago, I went into the S&P 500 watch list within the VectorVest program and sorted that watch list by comfort index. Comfort index is a proprietary VectorVest indicator that looks at the stock's long-term price history, and it's on a 0 to 2 scale. Above 1 is good, below 1 is bad. And top CI stocks with a 1.9 rating, a 1.8, a 1.7, those stocks over the long term have exhibited extremely tremendous price growth persistence. So you saw that bottom left to upper right chart on Procter & Gamble. Those are the type of stocks that are high CI stocks, okay? And by the way, when you take a list of stocks and you sort them by a certain indicator, and then literally take the top 5 or the top 10 stocks, that's not cherry picking. What I did with Procter & Gamble is just a cherry pick. It's one stock. This analysis here, this research is not cherry picking. It's rank analysis. Okay? So the top 5 CI stocks in the S&P 500 as of July 6th of 2021 were LB, CZR, GNRC, SIVB, and DFS. You can go into the VectorVest program, go to the go to the S&P go to the S&P 500 sorry guys go to the S&P 500 watch list, sort by CI, you'll get the same 5 stocks. Over the course of the last 1 year, there were 65 RSI 2 setups across all 5 stocks, not 65 setups each stock. 65 RSI 2 setups, what is that, 5? That's an average of 10, that's an average of 13. It's an average of 13 setups per stock. Some had more, some had less, but 65 RSI 2 setups over the last year for all 5 of those stocks. There were 52 winning trades, 13 losing trades. That's an 80% winning trade percentage. 80% winning trades using a very effective and easy to use short-term trading strategy on the top 5 CI stocks in the S&P 500. All right, 80% winning trades. If that's not good enough, if 80% winning trades isn't good enough, let me show you something here. What you're looking at is a long-term backtest centering around the RSI2 system that I just taught you. And what I mean by centering around, this portfolio here that you're looking at, I'll go over the metrics analysis here in a moment, the data. But this portfolio here uses the same stock selection entry criteria that I just taught you. The difference here is the exit criteria, and the reason for that is right now within the VectorVest program, unfortunately, we don't have a way to automate, and this is fully automated, we don't have a way to automate closing a position when the price closes above the 5-day moving average. It's just not an available exit criteria within the VectorVest program. I know it's on the developers list as something to add, but it's just not available yet. So I had to tweak the exit criteria a little bit. I wanted to stay as true to the Larry Connors system as possible. So here it is. This portfolio, this backtest from February 8th of 2010, pretty much all the way to current, is up 616%, 54% annualized, with a 25% drawdown. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be upfront, the 25% drawdown was during the COVID crash early last year. This is a long-only portfolio. This trading system doesn't use any market timing. Okay? Doesn't use any market timing. But 616% gain turned $100,000 into $715,000 in the last 11 and a half years. Get this, 93% winning trades, 217 winning trades, and 16 losing trades. That's a 93% winning trade percentage over an 11 and a half year period. The market, so what did the VVC do, right? What did the overall market do during this same time period? Okay, the VVC went up 200%. It tripled in value. The VectorVest composite, the market tripled in value since February 8th of 2010. It's safe to say, that we outperformed the market. We went up 616% over that same time period. 93% winning trades. A lot of you guys are saying, this looks pretty good to me. I like this. Wow. I see some comments coming in. But you're probably thinking, all right, I don't have time though to look at all these charts daily. Do I have to go in there every single day at the end of every day and look at all these charts to identify the right setups? You're probably thinking, well, if I'm supposed to enter and exit near the close, I'd have to spend all my time looking for a handful of candidates, right? Wrong. What I'm about to tell you eliminates all of that time. No matter what we teach you here, we want you to be able to do it faster, smarter, and better. So I'm going to take a few guesses, guys, as to why you came here today, why you tuned in today. Number one, you heard that the webinar was called How to Trade Like the Pros. You must have thought, all right, he's going to teach us something about professional traders, right? How they think maybe, how they trade. So that's why you're here. You want to learn from the best. I don't ask my Uncle Mike to teach me how to shoot free throws. Right? I would probably ask someone who played basketball to teach me how to shoot free throws. I play basketball, by the way, so I don't need any help shooting free throws. But you get my point, right? You want to learn from the best. You want to take emotion out of your trading. This might be, guys and gals, what's holding you back. Okay? Meaning you get so frustrated over losing trades that it just wrecks you. It just ruins your decision making. All right, and going back to one of the things I said earlier about how professional traders, they don't allow this to creep into their day-to-day trading room. Okay, You want more confidence. 2020, everybody had confidence, didn't they? Right? 2020 was a great year. 2021, slap in the face. All right, let's get back to, you know, uh, a more difficult market environment. And this has rattled some people where confidence, a lack of confidence has affected them. Okay? Maybe you're not where you want to be. So the obvious question that you're asking yourself is, okay, this is pretty interesting. How can I learn more? How can I take my game to the next level? You do have a choice. You can do it by yourself, all right? Take bits and pieces of what I taught you here today, or we can just give you all the answers, all right? So that's why myself and Steve Chappell, we put together this course. It's called Trade Like a Pro. It's a 6-session webcast series where we teach you techniques from 3 of the very best professional traders in the industry today. You'll learn top trading strategies of the pros and how to quickly and easily identify the best trades. I hope you saw that if you learn to implement strategies like the one I showed you today, you will get there. You're going to achieve the success that you're looking for. Let me introduce you to Hugh. Hugh was a former graduate, a recent graduate of our Trade Like a Pro course, maybe a couple of months back. He sent me an email after the course was over. He said, I'm a retired financial services executive, so I had to unlearn what the quote street teaches to start making money. Before taking the Trade Like a Pro course, I found it was difficult to stick with a system because since there were too many variables. Sound familiar, right? I never could achieve the short-term trading success I sought. After taking the course, I began to see results right away. I now have a successful approach and I am much more disciplined with my trading. Okay? So let me talk about the agenda. Let me talk about the modules for the course. All of the modules that I'm about to show you here, all 6, are pre-recorded and they're already been loaded. They're in the VectorVest University. Module number 1, we get you in the correct mindset to trade this way. Okay? Meaning we talk more about how the pros think and make sure that you begin to implement some of those characteristics. We'll teach you about risk management, which ensures your survival in this game. And then another really important segment in Module 1 is about order entry, okay? Because there are certain order types that we will be placing during the course and applying them to the different techniques. Then in Module 2, we get into our first, this is not a professional trader's technique necessarily, but it is a short-term trading technique using candlestick reversal patterns. If you guys know me at all, I've heard any of my webinars, you know that I love candlestick reversal signals. I trade them myself. I use them a lot in our swing trading coaching group as well. What they do is they identify and recognize turning points. I'll teach you the correct indicator to use with that candlestick reversal pattern, and then how you know you got it right. What I love about these is that they have their own unique baked-in confirmation levels and stop loss levels for each pattern. So there's no wondering, when do I get into a trade if I do recognize the signal? Or when do I get out if things go wrong? It's already baked in there, and we go over those rules there with you. Module number 3, we teach you the different types of market environments that you will encounter. We all know that markets aren't all the same, right? Markets trend, those are nice environments. They hit an extremely oversold situations, those present good buying opportunities. And then there are channeling markets, which are a little more difficult to trade, but tradable nonetheless. We teach you how to recognize those indicators, and then we teach you the technique, we teach you how to recognize those market environments, and then we teach you the indicator to use in each of those environments. And then in Module 4, Steve Chappell's going to come in and he's going to teach you a system called the Holy Grail, developed by Linda Bradford Radke. She's a professional trader. She's an author. She's actually done a lot of work and written books with Larry Connors. Steve teaches you a system that she developed called the Holy Grail. It's a very short-term trading system. You may be in the trade for a few days or a few weeks. Just depends on if your either stop criteria has been hit or your profit target has been hit, and both of those are baked into the system. So again, there's no wondering, when do I get in? When do I get out, right? It's all covered. Module number 5, I love these two systems. I'm going to come in and teach you guys about the 50-50 strategy and a system called AD Excellence, developed by Charles Schaap. Okay? I remember when we used to go to the New York money shows. Remember those, right? The money shows, the Traders Expos. I think Vegas is doing those again. I'm not sure if we're going though, but when I used to go, 10 years or so ago, when we were going to, a half a dozen a year, I remember watching and listening to Charles Schaap. He used to be a speaker at one of those. Didn't know much about him back then, but doing some research along the years, these two systems are very good. What I love about the 50-50 is that it's a little bit more intermediate term, meaning you may hold on to a position for weeks to months as opposed to days to weeks. Again, just depending on if your exit criteria has been met. And then finally in Module 6, the highlight of the course, in my opinion, is the RSI-2 trading system, and somebody was asking about ETFs. Larry Connors also developed a system called the RSI-25 strategy that is exclusively for ETFs. Okay, bullish or bearish ETFs. And it doesn't necessarily have to be index ETFs either. Any type of ETF as long as it meets the criteria. Okay, again, these modules are pre-recorded. Let me talk to you guys about some special bonuses that we're going to offer here. In module number 2 of Trade Like a Pro, I teach you a little bit about candlestick reversal patterns, but we have developed an entire 6-week course on those on candlestick signals. We are going to throw this in as a special bonus. You will get 1 year access to the Master the Art of Candlestick Analysis, 6-session self-study course. It's all self-study for 1 year as a part of the Trade Like a Pro course that we are going to be holding together. This course, guys, alone is valued at $995. But again, this is a special bonus. We're going to give you 1 year access to the Master the Art of Candlestick Analysis course. Another bonus, we are going to be conducting 6 live mastery support sessions. Again, the modules are pre-recorded, but these mastery sessions will be live. So our first live mastery support session, we will be covering and reviewing the contents of Module 1. The next week, we'll be doing mastery session number 2. We'll be covering and reviewing the contents of Module 2, and so on. These are great because they help you implement what you've learned in the course. Now, the module examples are historical examples. That's fine. Don't get caught up in, why are they showing us examples from the past? We show you examples from the past in those core modules to teach you the technique, to make sure that you understand what the chart needs to look like, what the setup needs to be, when to enter the trade, when to exit the trade. So the examples that we use in the modules are historical. Now, in the live mastery sessions, what we do is we look at the real market, the current market. So let's say in module number 4, right? That was we taught you the Holy Grail. In module number 4's mastery session, we will go into the program and look at current Holy Grail examples. We will also be giving you guys homework assignments at the end of every module, and we'll go over those homework assignments in these mastery sessions as well. Another bonus, if you don't already have our VectorVest real-time or what we call the premium package, which is real-time streaming data, we're going to give it to you for 60 days for free. It's part of the course. Again, if you don't already have it. This gives you all the bells and whistles that are used during the course. Okay? Also, another bonus. This is a bonus session. Essentially, I guess it's module 7. It's a live trading session. I love this session. This is where we will implement what we've learned over the course of the 6 weeks. I'll show you guys how to use RoboTrader as well, okay, to help execute and manage your trades. In this session, I step you through everything from market analysis to stock selection to trade execution and trade management, from A to Z. All right. And finally, not finally, actually, but this part is huge. Exclusively for workshop attendees, you will receive pre-built scans that make finding your trades a breeze. You were probably thinking, great, all right, they teach us all of these techniques, right? But how on earth are we going to find stocks to actually trade? The legwork has been done already. Okay, I built these scans to quickly and easily identify the best trades. And they'll all automatically be inserted into your programs. You don't have to build them yourselves. Okay? You will also get this as part of the course. This trading system that centers around the RSI2 technique. Now the exit criteria is different. You're gonna know what list of stocks this portfolio uses, what the exit criteria is, how many stocks it holds, whether it replaces or not, when it replaces, does it diversify between industry and sector, all of that. All of the little variables, right, that go into an automated trading system, we're gonna give you as part of the course. 93% winning trades over the last 11 years. Okay, and this is a special bonus here, this next one. This is a trading system that since December 3rd of 2018 has produced 95% winning trades for a 78% gain, with the VectorVest composite going up 47%. And this technique, this system, centers around the RSI 25 ETF technique that Larry Connors developed that I will teach you in Module 6. You will also get this one, this ETF system. I know you're looking at the equity curve and you're saying, well, man, it took a hit in March, right? February, March of 2020. It did. It did. But let's look at the bigger picture. What did the market do over this same time period, right? It went up 47%. Great. This portfolio almost doubled the performance of the market, 78%, almost. All right, with 95% winning trades, 59 winners and 3 losing trades. Now, everything that I just talked about, the 6 pre-recorded modules, the 6 live mastery support sessions, the scans, the searches that get inserted into your programs, the live bonus session, the Master the Art of Candlestick Analysis course that you have access to for 1 year. You also get this course for 1 year as well in the VectorVest University. And those 2 automated trading systems. The normal cost of this, the regular cost is $29.95. We still have an early bird rate available of $2,495, but I'm going to knock an extra $200 off for you guys here that are joining me on this webinar. I want to thank you guys for being here. You stayed with me pretty much to the end. I'm going to put the slides in there in a moment, but I want to thank you guys for sticking with me to the end. And I want to knock an extra couple of $100 off. Now you have to order soon. This $22.95 rate will not be available for all that much longer. And I want to thank Ray for putting that website, that site that you see at the bottom in the chat box. You guys should all see www.vectorvest.com/TLP. You should see it in the chat box, so you can just click on it. Okay. Yes, guys, there is an elite rate. It's $1,497.50, half off the regular rate. By the way, this is 100% money back guaranteed. Meaning, if you watch all the modules, if you watch all the mastery sessions, you do the homework assignments, and we know if you do or not, if you do all that, if you complete the course and you say, you know what, I didn't learn anything, I'm not going to use any of these techniques, I want my money back, we'll give you your money back. Now what we do, we take the searches away, of course, right? We take the trading systems away, but we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. Okay? Don't forget, we're also going to throw in the special bonus, 1 year access in the university to the Master the Art of Candlestick Analysis, 6-session self-study course valued at $995. Now here are the dates for the live mastery support sessions. We start 3 weeks from yesterday. July 28th is when we will hold our first live mastery support sessions. By the way, when you register and you get access to the VectorVest University pretty much right away, keep an eye out for an email once you register, because that'll give you directions on how to access the course in the university. You will be able to watch all of the modules, as many as you'd like, before our first session. Okay? You will also have access to the old mastery sessions that Steve and I did about a few months back in March. those sessions will be replaced with hours as we go. And let's say 3 months from now, 4 months from now, we do another Trade Like a Pro course and we do live mastery sessions then. Our mastery sessions will be replaced with the new ones that we do 3 or 4 months from now. So you're always getting new content, as we deliver it. That's part of this course as well. You'll always have access to it for an entire year. Okay? These sessions begin at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on those days. Our live trading session begins at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on September 8th. And again, we start a little earlier there because of all the work that we need to do before the market opens. Okay, before the market opens. All right, I'm going to stick around, guys, for a few more minutes. I'm going to answer some questions, and I am going to put the slides in the handout section of your GoToMeeting control panel. Let me just make sure it is the right set, and it is. Okay, you should see it in a moment. It's going to say TLP slides, and it's just a copy of them, but you should see the PDF in the handout section of your GoToMeeting control panel. You should see it now. Okay, you should see it now. My email address is jerryd, Jerry, D as in David, at VectorVest.com. Okay, if you have any questions about anything that I talked about today, please shoot me an email. All right, once you register for the course, by the way, once you register for the course, email me your username, and I will insert the searches into your program. Okay, once you register for the course, shoot me an email with your username, and I will insert the searches into your program. Okay, but you will get my email address and Steve's email address during the course, which means that, during the course, if you have any questions, you shoot us an email. If after the course is over, you have any questions, you shoot us an email. You kind of have dedicated email support when it comes to, this course and a lot of the courses that we teach, because we want to make sure that you're getting the instruction and the answers that to your questions, straight from the instructor, straight from the horse's mouth. Okay. So do you guys see the slides in the handout section of your GoToMeeting control panel? It says TLP slides. It's a PDF. Ben says yes. So don't take this the wrong way, everybody. If Ben says yes, they are there for everybody. Everybody has them. Nobody's GoToWebinar control panel is any different than anybody else's. So a lot of people are saying yes, all good. Okay, John says I've downloaded them. All right, good. So they're there, guys. They're in the handout section of that GoToMeeting control panel. It says TLP slides. Find that section in your GoToMeeting control panel. A lot of yeses, which is good. All right. My email address is jerryd, Jerry, D as in David, at VectorVest.com. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to stick around. I want to thank Ray, man. There was a lot of questions that came in. Ray did a great job answering all of them. If you have any questions here, guys, as I wrap things up, remember that $22.95 rate is only available for a short period of time. By the way, if you've registered already or plan on registering, type in "I'm in" the chat box. I'd love to kind of put a name to a student so that I'll recognize you guys once we start in a couple weeks. Just type in "I'm in" the chat box, just so I can kind of, again, get familiar with your name there. Yes, Roger, if you have a TLP folder in your Unisearch tool, then yes, then you've taken the course before. All right, good. Glenn says, "I'm in, looking forward to it." John says, "I'm thinking about it seriously." Okay, good, John. Good. All right. All right. Lucine says, "I'm in." Lucine, your name is very familiar. I know you attend a lot of our webinars, so awesome. Looking forward to working with you again. Rick says, "Can this be used with options?" This is not an options course, so we will not be talking at all about options trading. But I don't see why not. The reason why I say that is, look, we are teaching you bullish and bearish stock selection techniques. There are a lot more variables, of course, that go into the option trade, so you have to know that. But it's a directional. These are directional trades. Therefore, I don't see why you couldn't place a directional option trade on the underlying based on the technique that we teach. But again, we will not be going over any of that in this course. It's strictly trading. We're trading the equities. Yeah, Cole says, can VectorVest teach someone the basics of stocks who doesn't know anything about trading? Absolutely. Cole, we have a course called the Successful Investor. There's also a Successful Investor Quick Start course, which is actually free within the VectorVest program. If you go into VectorVest 7 and go to the training tab, you'll see the Successful Investor Quick Start course. But our Successful Investor course is kind of entry level, I guess you could say. It's really the basics of VectorVest and just some really simple stock investing techniques. But absolutely, I think that course, Cole, is something that you want to consider. Again, the Successful Investor course. Tony, we will get there. I can't show you here. Again, if you want to just give our support department a call, if you want to learn how to set up the RSI2 chart, give our support department a call. They'll walk you through it, or we do that in module number 6. Okay, good. Paul says, I'm in, just purchased. Awesome, Paul. Looking forward to working with you. Phyllis says, what is the elite rate? $1497.50. $1,497.50. That's half off the regular price. All right, great rate there if you're an elite subscriber. Elite is someone who has been with us for at least 5 years with uninterrupted service, or has spent more than $5,000 with us over the course of a lifetime. That's an elite subscriber. If you don't know if you're elite, give our support department a call and they'll check your account. You're welcome. All right. Yeah, Neil, that's one of the things that one of the variables, right? That a very important variable, how many stocks a portfolio holds. That's one of the variables that are given for the course, given to students of the course. Very important. Bert, welcome, Bert. Bert says I'm in. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm getting familiar with some of your names. That's good. Again, we start in about 3 weeks. We start our first mastery session. Don't wait, though. Once you register, you'll get an email with instructions on how to access the course in the university. Dig right in. Start watching the modules if you want. Start watching the mastery sessions. It's like Netflix, right? You just binge watch them all ahead of time. But we're going to take things slow, during the course of the 6-week mastery sessions. I'm not going to be talking about the RSI2 or the 50-50 strategy in our first mastery support session. We're going to take things slow and cover the contents of each module each week. All right. Hey, Ray. What's up? Yes. Absolutely, guys. Yeah, so I did talk about the Trade Like a Pro money back guarantee. Same guarantee applies across all of our courses. We want you to take the course and study the content. And again, there's a way that we know if you do or not. So if you do that, if you take a course, no matter which course you take, Trade Like a Pro, Precision Swing Trading, Successful Investor, you do all the work, and at the end of the course is over, you say, I want my money back. We'll give you your money back. We do take a lot of the bonuses away, but we give you your money back, no questions asked. But we do ask you to do the work. Okay? All right, guys, don't forget my email address. Again, Jerry D, Jerry, D as in David, at VectorVest.com. Shoot me an email. I actually saw a couple of emails come in already, so I'll get to those tomorrow. I always try to answer your email, guys, within 24 hours. All right? Sometimes immediately, sometimes, and other times within 24 hours. All right? Have a great rest of your day. It is, evening here on the East Coast, so have a good trading day tomorrow. Let's hope we get a better market tomorrow. And have a great weekend. Look forward to working with you guys. and we'll see everybody again soon. Take care, everybody.